This message comes from IXL. IXL's Level Up Diagnostic gives immediate benchmark results along with personalized action plans that link directly to IXL's skill practice. More at IXL.com/NPR.
The first guy was like, I go on jogs, and he was like really small. And then there was a guy that was medium sized, and he was like, I'm just like weightlifting to keep myself in good shape. And then the third guy was like, I am a competitive bodybuilder, and he was like pretty big. But then the biggest guy of the four was like, I am harshly aware of the rapid state of fascism that we are living under, and I feel a need to protect my loved ones. And he was like huge. And I just thought it was so funny, but also that's so real.
Fitness has always been political. And so I think it's not whether or not fitness in the 21st century is political, it's just how does it manifest its political nature.
Hello, hello. I'm Brittany Luce, and you're listening to It's Been a Minute from NPR, a show about what's going on in culture and why it doesn't happen by accident. Today, I have a very special guest here with me, Margaret Serino.
Hi, Brittany.
Marge is a producer over at Life Kit, but Marge, you also have a side job, right? As a CrossFit coach?
That's correct. To be honest, I just like yelling at people and telling them what to do.
That's fair. I can understand that, yeah.
Yeah, the main draw for me. I am a jock for the record, but not like a self-serious one, if that makes sense. I'm more of like a lifting weights in my acrylics kind of person. But my algorithms don't know this, so I do get a lot of gym-adjacent people and their content online. And like the thing about gym culture, it has a lot of politics wrapped up in it. Politics about bodies, of course. But I also feel like the bro-y side of gym culture skews towards right-wing politics. I don't think gym going is inherently right-wing. I'm just saying I feel like the gym is a stereotypically masculine space, and fitness is a big part of conservative manosphere content. But this isn't really new.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that before.
But what I have been surprised by...
You like my gains? Well, guess what? There are gains. That's right, the mentality runs.
I'm seeing more and more lefty gym content here and there. And here's one really interesting thing I heard.
What a swoletariat is a person that lifts with class consciousness in mind, understanding that...
So that's from the Instagram of Angel Gonzalez. They're an activist, content creator, and a self-described member of the swoletariat.
Hold on. I want to break that down. So that's a combo of swole, meaning like, super muscular, like jacked.
Correct.
And proletariat, meaning member of the working class, like in a Marxist way.
Yeah, swoletariat.
Okay.
I called Angel up, and they said they first saw this term on a niche Reddit page called r/swoletariat.
It's always going to be imprinted in my mind. I remember one day I saw this picture that was cross-posted from the swoletariat subreddit, and it was pictures of 4 different people, and they were all saying the first guy was like, I go on jogs, and he was really small. And then there was a guy that was medium sized, and he was like, I'm just weightlifting to keep myself in good shape. And then the third guy was like, I am a competitive bodybuilder, and he was pretty big. But then the biggest guy of the 4 was like, I am harshly aware of the rapid state of fascism that we are living under, and I feel a need to protect my loved ones. And he was huge. And I just thought it was so funny, but also that's so real, and that's so true to me. And so I really clung to that. And since I saw that one image, I started following r/swoletariat, and I started using it all the time because it just spoke to me so deeply about how our bodies really are a tool, whether we realize it or not. I really loved it so much that I just started throwing the word out all the time because I was already making content related to fitness.
This lefty gym content, I feel like I also see this with Hassan Piker. He's a really popular leftist streamer who's also very into the gym. And when I spoke to him last year, he didn't really seem to connect that with his politics, but other people definitely, read it as an alternative to a lot of the more conservative manosphere gym content that you were mentioning.
Yeah, totally. And I was curious to learn more, so I started looking into explicitly leftist fitness. And I found something interesting. there's apparently a history behind getting yoked for the revolution.
Okay, well, Marge, please take it away.
The Turner Halls were started, I'm going to say a bunch, maybe some German stuff, and I'm not a German speaker, so please have mercy.
That's Devin Thomas O'Shea. He's a freelance writer who wrote an article for Jacobin, a socialist magazine, about the history of the Turners. The Turners were Germans who started these nationalist gymnastics clubs in the early 1800s.
One of the funnier things in the archive from this is just how many early photographs of Turner Halls are of guys doing a big human pyramid in their white uniforms. Just like showing off what me and the fellas can do, you know?
Let me just look this picture up that Devin is talking about. Hold on. Turner Hall. Okay, this is kind of sick, I gotta say. So these guys, they're doing like the wildest stuff. It's like a bunch of bros, I guess bros for that time, in all white gym outfits. And they're using their bodies to make like pyramids, but not like, I don't know, pyramid doesn't even do it justice as a descriptor. These guys are like making mosaics with their bodies that almost like defy physics and engineering. Honestly, I don't know. I kind of wish I was one of them.
Yes, Brittany, this is what we could be doing instead of going to Planet Fitness. So anyway, these guys, the Turners, were founded by a guy called Friedrich Ludwig Jahn.
Turnvater Jahn is sort of like the founder, and that just means like turn father. He started the first Turnplatz as a reaction against Napoleon, as you do, you know? There's a big fear, especially for Jahn, that German culture is going to be extinguished, and so he starts these athletic gyms under the philosophy of Gut Heil, which means good health. The whole object was to preserve German culture, get in shape, you know, use the pommel horse, however you're supposed to do that, and have a sort of strength that's going to, like, weather the storm of Napoleonic tyranny.
So Jahn, he's essentially the father of gymnastics. But his halls weren't just about strengthening the body. They were also about strengthening the mind and the community, too.
There's not only, get this, not only a pommel horse, there's not only the rings and the parallel bars, but there's also like a lecture hall. Most of them had a bar in them to drink a bunch of beer after you were done working out. As you should, get a little rowdy with it. And this is a community social technology for like centralizing a bunch of things a local community would need. And that, in fact, turns out to breed revolutionary fervor.
Oh, wow. I'm guessing that rowdiness and revolutionary fervor eventually burst out of the Turner Halls.
Yes, you would be correct.
As the 1848 revolutions are approaching, the Turner Halls become these like revolutionary meeting halls. And so a lot of the early communist and socialist Germans, this is socialism contemporary with Karl Marx, they start meeting and talking about how we got to get rid of this archduke, the king is sort of you know, that kind of thing.
The 1848 revolutions, these were uprisings all across Germany, calling for liberal reforms like freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, representative government. Ultimately, these revolutions do fail, and a lot of the Turners end up in America because they need to escape punishment for, you know, doing revolution. But in America, they kept their gym routines and their politics.
One of the most interesting things about the group is that they are abolitionists, and the theory that set off the 48 revolutions is that you and I and everyone else are born equal, and they were very pro the U.S. Constitution and the idea of a democracy and universal suffrage. This was very much a philosophical, moral struggle against the slave power in the United States.
So when the Civil War popped off, they were ready.
They become Union platoons and like organized military volunteers.
So the Turners enlisted in large enough numbers that there were entire regiments organized by them.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm wondering, like, do you think all that gymnastics, like, help the Turners fight the Confederates? Like, did that factor?
I wasn't there, but I don't think it hurt.
I think you could be right about that. Coming up,
capitalism makes our locus of control so externalized where we feel like we can do nothing about anything and nothing is in our control. But when you are in the gym, every single movement that you're making, it's up to you.
Stick around.
This message comes from Jerry. Many people are overpaying on car insurance. Why? Switching providers can be a pain. Jerry helps make the process painless. Jerry is the only app that compares rates from over 50 insurers in minutes and helps you switch fast with no spam calls or hidden fees. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Before you renew your car insurance policy, download the Jerry app or head to jerry.ai/NPR. This message comes from IXL. The IXL Level Up Diagnostic gives you clear, just-in-time insight into student learning with benchmark results and real-time updates throughout the year. Even better, Level Up creates a personalized action plan for every student that guides them to what they should practice on IXL to improve. Learn more at IXL.com/NPR.
This message comes from Jerry. Most drivers overpay for car insurance because the system is needlessly complicated. Jerry fixes that by handling all the insurance shopping legwork for you. Compare 50-plus insurers side by side and purchase your policy directly in the app. No spam calls, no hidden fees. They'll even monitor price trends and can alert you to better rates. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Download the Jerry app or visit jerry.ai/NPR today.
okay, where else do we see leftist or revolutionary fitness turning up in history?
I mean, physical training was a part of the Black Power movement, too.
So the most iconic Black Power organization, of course, is the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, which comes out of Oakland, California, founded 1966 by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale.
That's Hassan Kwame Jeffries, Associate Professor of History at the University of Ohio, where he teaches courses on the civil rights and Black Power movements.
Especially with Huey Newton and Bobby Seale, they were heavily influenced by sort of Asian activism and Asian radicals. Huey and Bobby, very early on, they're passing out Mao's Red Book, right? I mean, so they're looking to sort of Asia and to China in particular as sort of a model for how you lead a revolution. That Eastern influence, if you will, of sort of martial arts is very heavy. And we saw the same thing with the Nation of Islam. I mean, it's martial arts training. The fruit of Islam, that is connected to this idea of discipline. You have to be disciplined in order to be an effective fighter, but you also have to have discipline in order to be an effective community member.
I mean, the Panthers, the police and the feds were really targeting them. Like, a lot of these revolutionaries were getting gunned down. But I think when most people think about the Panthers and their methods of defense, they think about, the firearms that their members carried. But I feel like it's less widely known that martial arts were also a part of their self-defense programming.
Yeah, and it was a community thing. In the Oakland chapter during the 70s, they even taught martial arts to kids.
During this period, within sort of African-American activist circles, it is very collective. I mean, the one thing that we don't see a lot of is sort of individual workouts, right? So it's not like, hey, all right, we got a meeting at 10, y'all go work out in your basement, right? And come meet us at 10. It's like, no. We're going to have a meeting at 10, but at 8, we're going to be here, right? And we're going to do the physical aspect first.
I feel like this community aspect that we see with the Turners and during the Black Power movement is pretty different from contemporary fitness culture. I feel like fitness is really atomized and individual now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like everything is all about personal gains, body transformation, and it's a lot more about you and how much you can lift and how you look.
I work out by myself. You go to the gym and you've got your earphones in.
That's Devin again.
You're not necessarily running on the treadmill with 17 of your boys, you know.
You're not forming a human pyramid anymore.
We should bring that back, though, right? Displays of balance and coordination as a group to intimidate our enemies.
And Angel had an interesting perspective on this. They told me they think this individualistic mindset is partly because fitness has been so commodified under capitalism.
The way that people train in the gym is very, most people, I should say, very reflective of capitalist culture. Like the idea that you have to constantly be improving, constantly be maximizing, the idea that there is like an optimal you that exists and that you need to pay a lot of money for it and work really hard for it is very much capitalist, rooted deeply in capitalism.
But Hassan says there's actually a lot in common with right-wing and left-wing fitness rhetoric these days.
You have the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, talking about the warrior culture, lethality. We got to prepare. We're warriors. Like this sort of sense of we're getting ready for this. And we need this sort of martial culture. I would also say, I actually think the groups on either side of the political spectrum are actually connected. They're responding to each other in a way, right? It's like, all right, well, how are we going to get free? So we gotta prepare our people for the revolution, But the commonality is this idea of the physical is important to prepare. It's preparation for something.
And this is how Devin sees his gym going, as preparation.
Working out or having, as the Turners would say, sound mind, sound body is probably the best thing you can do as a person with left ideals also, because it keeps you ready for, the world as it unfolds, our chaotic moments.
For Angel, it's a relief from the bleakness of living under capitalism.
You are the one that's in control when you're exercising. You are the one that determines when you start and you stop. You are in control of every single movement that you make. And this is where it gets like spiritual for me, because what fitness is to me really is about establishing my own bodily autonomy and reminding myself through a daily ritual every single morning or night that I am in control of my body and no one else. It's restoring that, pardon me using a therapy word, but like that locus of control, like capitalism makes our locus of control so externalized where we feel like we can do nothing about anything and nothing is in our control. But when you are in the gym, every single movement that you're making, it's up to you.
What about the community aspect? That seemed like a really big piece of the Turner's Halls and the Black Power martial arts practices.
Yeah, I mean, Angel's talked to me about having a community of fellow swoletariat and how important that is to them.
I'm typically not working out alone anymore, thankfully. I have people that I call my swole mates and my comrades that are really just my friends, but they're also very passionate about fitness and everything else that I'm also passionate about, very like-minded people.
And I'm definitely seeing the swoletariat picking up steam on social media.
This makes me think about what's been going on in Minneapolis, honestly. I would guess not everyone who has protested ICE there thinks of themselves as leftists, but I could see how, with a right-wing government in power and, seeing people shot and killed by ICE agents, that some left-leaning people might be turning to the gym to at least feel more prepared. I've even seen some posts on social media that seem to reflect that feeling. For one example, Instagram user Kate Alexander said in a recent post, "Training for my half marathon. Red X emoji. Training to run faster than ICE? Green checkmark emoji. Brace yourselves and get ready for when the American Gestapo comes to your neighborhood next."
Yeah, I think right now a lot of people are struggling to feel agency. When I think of what people are doing in Minneapolis or what they're doing when they start going to the gym again, it's like they're rehabilitating this sense of agency, either individually or as a larger community. And I think both of those aims are really rooted in politics. I mean, I keep going back to something Hassan told me.
Fitness has always been political. And so I think it's not whether or not fitness in the 21st century is political, it's just how does it manifest its political nature.
Marge, this was so enlightening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brittany. My pleasure.
That was Margaret Serino, producer over at Life Kit. This episode of It's Been a Minute was produced by
Liam McBain.
This episode was edited by
Nina Pothug.
Engineering support came from
Nisha Highness.
Our supervising producer is
Barton Girdwood.
Our VP of programming is
Yolanda Sanguini.
All right, that's all for this episode of It's Been a Minute from NPR. I'm Brittany Luce. Talk soon.
This message comes from IXL. IXL is an award-winning online learning platform that helps kids truly understand what they're learning. With shorter days and packed schedules, it's easy for kids to lose focus. IXL gives them a simple, stress-free way to keep skills sharp, adapting to each child's level, pace, and learning needs. Make an impact on your child's learning. Get IXL now. Receive an exclusive 20% off IXL membership when you sign up today at IXL.com/NPR. This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest. Start your risk-free trial at greenlight.com/NPR. This message comes from Normal Gossip, a Radiotopia podcast. Join host Rachel Hampton as she shares juicy, strange, funny, and utterly banal gossip about people you'll never know and never meet. Subscribe to Normal Gossip wherever you get your podcasts.